What's up, ladies and gentlemen? It's Brennan. I'm BMax45, and we're coming at you with another video. We have the rest of our Q&A, our Errata and rules update for the Digimon TCG. We have our starter deck, ST21 ST20. So we're going to go through and look at some of these Q&As for those cards. This is the last part here. We did the BT21 Q&A, we did the new keyword Q&A, and now we're just finishing up with the starter decks. So hey, if you enjoy this type of content, be sure to smash that like button, comment down below. We love to hear your thoughts. Subscribe to the channel and hit that bell for notifications so you don't miss a single minute of the fun. All right, well, let's get into it here. We have ST21 Gomamon. What does this card's your opponent can't gain memory other than by tamer effects do exactly? With this effect, your opponent's memory will no longer increase by any effects except for tamer effects. This effect affects your opponent player. Okay, can I gain memory using an effect on a tamer that's treated as a Digimon with X00 DP due to an effect while my opponent has your opponent can't gain memory other than by tamer effects? Yes, you can. When the effect is activated on a card that's treated as both a Digimon and tamer, the effect is treated as both a Digimon. That's treated as both a Digimon and a tamer. The effect is treated as both a Digimon and a tamer effect. Therefore, you can gain memory. So if you have both, you're safe. If it's both a Digimon and a tamer, you're safe because it's still a tamer effect. Okay, you got Zudamon. If this card's your turn, effect triggers. Can I choose not to activate it? No, you can't. If the effect triggers, you must activate it. Can I choose different Digimon for the Digimon that gains Alliance and the Digimon that attacks for this card's your turn effect? Yes, you can. After my Digimon gains Alliance with this card, it's your turn effect. Can I also choose not to attack for the part of the effect after then? Yes, you can, because I think it's a you may. So as long as you may, you can always choose to do it or not. Magnagmon, if this card, same thing. If it triggers, you got to activate it. And basically, yeah, same thing here. You can give different effects, and you can choose not to use the after then ability. Togemon, what does X or more total colors mean exactly? It refers to when a card has many or more total colors than the number specified. Same thing for Lilymon. It's going to have all the same keywording basically here because they have very similar effects. X or total colors, same thing. Mimi and Joe. When I would play a Digimon card with the Adventure Trait from my hand, if I activate the your turn effects on both this cards and ST21 13. Matt and TK, is the play cost reduced by a total of 2? Yes, the play cost will be reduced by a total of 2, so it does work in tandem with the other one. And basically the same thing. The reverse question. Believe in our friendship. What does while you have the specified card on the field mean? Refers to when you have the specified card in the battle area or breeding area. So the breeding area counts too. Jenai's house. What happens when this card's placed face up in the security stack by effects? It's all the face up rules. It becomes face up and remains revealed. Other than rules that specify face up security cards, the rules apply in the same manner as the standard one. What happens upon security check for a security card that is placed face up? The check is performed with the card left revealed. Other than the rules for that card left revealed, the rules apply in the same manner as standard security checks. Does a card's security effect trigger upon a security check with that card placed face up? Yes, it triggers. What happens if I shuffle a security stack that includes security cards placed face up? They go face down, basically, after shuffling. We got ST20, same thing, X or more total colors. Activate it. Yeah, these are all the same. Yeah, they're all the same because they literally, there's like all the level 5s have a similar effect. But Tentomon, what does your opponent can't reduce Digillusion costs exactly do? The effect prevents Digillusion costs from being reduced when the costs are to be paid. This effect affects the opponent's player. Can my opponent Digivolve using a card using a Digivolve without paying the cost effect while your opponent can't reduce Digillusion cost is activated? Yes, it can be Digivolve. Digivolve without paying the cost effects are effects that Digivolve without paying the cost effects aren't effects that reduce the Digillusion. It doesn't reduce. It doesn't say reduce. It just says without paying. So it's free rather than reducing. Mega Kabuterimon, same thing. It triggers. No, you can't. Yeah, you can give it to 2 different monsters, and you don't have to activate the after effect that's then. Agumon's the same. Wargreymon Ace. What does this card's on play when Digivolving effect do exactly? You choose one of your opponent's Digimon for every 2 colors your tamers have. Then the target Digimon aren't affected by your opponent's Digimon effects until the end of their turns. What does none of your blank Digimon are affected by your opponent's effects exactly mean? The effect prevents Digimon from being affected by effects. For example, your Digimon won't suspend if chosen for a suspend one of your opponent's Digimon effect. And its DP won't be reduced by 3,000 if chosen for one of your opponent's Digimon gets minus 3,000 DP. Can this card that has isn't affected by effects be chosen? It can be chosen for an effect. It can be given an effect, but it won't be affected by it, like security attack -1. It's like I've read these before. If it later gains and isn't affected by effect, as soon as it gains the isn't affected by blank effect, it no longer will be affected. If a card that isn't affected by effects gains an effect, then later loses the isn't affected by effects, it will be affected by the effect as soon as it can be affected by the effects. Oh gosh. Same thing with the new tamers from this deck. It will let you to use both cards to reduce the cost, apparently. Both ways. Works both ways. Our Courage United. What does while you have the specified card on the field mean? Again, in the battle area or the breeding area, which is good to know because I wouldn't have always guessed the breeding area myself, honestly. Island of Adventure. What happens to cards placed face up security by same? It's all the face up security stuff. And then we got a few promos. We got some of the new promos. Gaiomon. Can I use this card's when Digivolving effect to give start of your main phase? This Digimon attacks to a Digimon that isn't affected by effects. You can give the effect to such a Digimon, but Digimon that aren't affected by effects won't be affected by it. Therefore, the gained effect won't trigger. Yeah. So this will work in the case of if you give it on your turn. If you give it to a guy that isn't affected by effects, but then he loses that at the start of his turn, then it would activate start of your main phase. Can you use this card's when Digivolving effect to give start of main phase this Digimon attacks to a Digimon? If I use this card's when Digivolving effect to give start of main phase this Digimon attacks to a Digimon, can I choose not to attack for the part of the effect after then? Yes, you can. Again, if it says you may not do it. You may or may not do it. Gallantmon, my opponent, has a Digimon with 13,000 DP or less. Can I meet this effect? If this effect didn't delete condition in this card's on play when Digimon effect by not choosing a card to delete? No, you can't. If your opponent has a Digimon with 13,000 DP or less, you must choose a card and delete it. My opponent has a Digimon with 13,000 DP or less. Can I meet this card's if this effect didn't delete condition by choosing an opponent's Digimon with 13,000 DP or less? an effect that prevents deletion. Yes, you can. You can always find ways around it. Mastimon, new Mastimon. Can I place either my Digimon or Tamers or opponent's Digimon or Tamers as the top or bottom security card for this card's win Digivolving effect? Yes, you can place it as the top or bottom security card. Can I activate Recovery +1 even when not DNA Digivolving with this card's first win Digivolving effect? Yes, you can activate Recovery +1. So the first part's probably the DNA part, and then that part's just a normal Digivolution part. So yeah. That is all the Q&A stuff we had, guys. That's everything. We've gone through everything. Hopefully now we have a better idea of some of the rulings on some of these cards. And, always check the page because they're always updating stuff. There's always new rulings and just so much in this game to remember. So this is a really great resource. So always check it out when you're wondering about stuff. It doesn't cover everything, but it covers a lot, and that's always good. Looks like that's all the time we have for this video. Thank you very much for tuning in, and we hope to see you in the next video. As always, have a wonderful day. And that's all for now, folks.